Meet the springtail. These tiny insects inhabit every continent of the world, yes, even Antarctica, and perform crucial roles within a variety of diverse ecosystems. As far as insects go, you might think springtails are sort of lame, but that's just like your opinion, man. Let's look at the facts. Springtails are, let me check my notes here. They're small, fragile, nervous and jumpy. They don't really prey on any other animal. They mostly eat dead stuff and fungus. Okay, so in a way, yeah, they kind of are losers, but like myself, they're lovable losers. These cute little guys and gals dart around their environment looking for things to clean up. They're scavengers, feeding on dead organic matter and fungus and helping to break down this refuse and return nutrients to the soil, or else allow it to be more easily broken down by earthworms, other insects, bacteria, etc. So if being a super important and irreplaceable part of the ecosystem is lame, then you and I have a problem, buddy. And springtails, they come in different shapes and sizes. Here you can see sort of a dark, iridescent variety. For whatever reason, they're a less common species in this ecosystem. Most springtails in this habitat are the white variety you've already seen. Here's another kind. He's a bit of a chubby little orange boy. The springtails in this video that you're watching, they live in a unique home. They reside in a closed terrarium inside of an old aquarium tank where they serve me, their king, and do my bidding. And before you get all up in arms about springtail rights, don't worry, I'm a benevolent ruler. There's already some discussions about creating some sort of a constitution for them. We got it covered. And besides, I even gave them some friends. Here's an isopod that it looks like we caught, I'm not really sure, dry hump in the air? I'm really not sure, folks. I'd be lying if I said I was an expert on insects. And besides, isopods aren't technically insects, they're crustaceans. These hard-shelled roly-polies, that's what a lot of people call them, live peacefully with their springtail brethren. Snails live inside this tank here too. That's pretty cool. They're really slow too, just like in the movies. Millipedes live here. This is a juvenile millipede wandering out of his burrow. Try counting the legs on that bad Larry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. This small beetle also calls this tank home. I don't know much about him or her. I'll have to watch it more closely. It mostly spends its time creeping around the place. But it's been in here for like a year, so it must do something or eat something. This terrarium has served as their home for the past year, during which time their population has exploded. In the wild, springtails are some of the more common insects within most biomes. But honestly, I only spotted a few when I put this home together. Since then, they've been breeding like Catholic rabbits that have had their internet and TV privileges taken away and have nothing better to do with their time. With plenty of dead plant matter and other junk to feed on, they're now almost the most dominant species in this terrarium. Almost. Meet the centipede. Watch closely as this absolute Chad of a centipede snags itself a tasty springtail meal. That's quite the takedown. And if seeing a harmless bug being hunted and killed makes you sad, well, I don't know. I don't know what to tell you. Just tell yourself the springtail had it coming. Who knows? Maybe he was the leader of a splinter terrorist group of Springtails, seeking to use violence to overthrow their king, me, or else maybe... who am I kidding? These little guys wouldn't hurt a fly. Literally, actually. Usually it's the other way around. Some fly species prey on them. In fact, they have quite a few predators in the wild. But despite that predation in the wild and the predation inside of this closed ecosystem, the springtail is far from extinction within these glass walls. In fact, I'm not quite sure what the upper limit of their population is. Part of me worries about this. I know that these things balance themselves out in nature, and they do inside of these closed terrariums. But if their population continues to increase, they'll either run out of food, allow the population of predators like the centipedes to outpace their growth, or both. Eventually their population would decrease due to starvation, lack of breeding, or increased predation. But depending on how far and how much of their population increases, how will that affect other animals and plants in this biome? I don't know. It's something we'll have to continue to watch and wait and see. It's the type of things that keep us all up at night, am I right? Thinking about bugs. As you're watching this springtail munch away on some dead wood, I also wanted to share my experiences with springtails and contrast that against what is kind of conventional wisdom in the terrarium community. See, despite their population growth inside of this tank in recent months, this has also coincided with a slow but persistent growth of fungus that dates back to 8, 9, 10 months ago. Conventional wisdom states that springtails will gorge themselves on fungus and keep its growth at bay, but now I'm wondering if I'm just being gaslighted by the springtail and terrarium community. Okay, so that's a little dramatic, and maybe we as a society have to, we've started to overuse the term gaslighting, but gosh darn it, it's like these springtails eat everything but the fungus. I'm sure there's a reasonable explanation, and I'm sure they eat tons of dead stuff that would otherwise be swallowed up by these different molds, but as you can see, the springtails mostly leave them untouched. This shot of these springtails is pretty cool. Right at the center of the shot, there's a little orange something on the glass. Maybe a dead bug that I smushed when I was cleaning the condensation off the inside of the tanks for filming. But eventually, one of these springtails finds it. You can see it there, and that springtail, it's not really in a sharing mood. This little bozo starts munching on the fresh carcass, but whenever one of its buddies gets too close, it whacks it with its antenna and keeps it away. Kind of a jerk move in my opinion. I mean, that whatever it is on the glass, it's way too big of a meal, but whatever. I thought it was super interesting. This goes on for quite a while. I stopped filming at some point, but the fight kind of continued after that. I thought it was really cool looking at the dynamics of springtail society. It's not unlike something you would see with mammals in the wild, keeping other scavengers away from a kill it found. Sort of like one hyena chasing off other hyenas from a dead carcass that had happened upon. It's shots like this that make terrariums so fascinating. Each time I take a moment to stop and watch the small, bustling world inside, I find something new or interesting. And people, this is all around us. Take a walk through a park, along a river, up a mountainside, touch some grass. This macro world is constantly moving around us, constantly feeding, breeding, killing, and being killed. It's awesome. And this isn't me delving into some big environmentalist speech. All I'm saying is there is so much going on behind the scenes that, frankly, I was unaware of until I started making these terrariums. So I'd encourage you to look around on the internet, places like YouTube or on Reddit, to find a guide on how to make one of these habitats for yourself. It doesn't need to be a big tank like this one. You could literally put it in a mason jar, an old pickled jar. But making one of these ecosystems and then watching it change over the years and months is fascinating. And as for the springtails, well, let's be honest, they were never lame. They were never the losers of the insect kingdom. In fact, They're doing a lot of winning right now in this ecosystem. They outnumber any other animal that's visible with the naked eye. They look happy, carefree, eager to find their next morsel of food. Honestly, we could all learn something from springtails. Even if predators are lurking behind every corner, threatening to give them a horrible end to their brief and seemingly meaningless existence, they're still content, nay, happy with their mundane existence. Good for you, springtails. Don't stop doing you.